there's a lovely cup. Wow, aren't we lucky to have heard that original recording of an older man in his 50s, which was very old at the time, sipping on his first cup of coffee in 1521. Simply marvellous. Hello there, and welcome back to the final couplet with me, Theo Cowan. We're on a bit of a milestone today. It's Sonnet 145. Wowee, we have come a long, long way. And that means that there are only 9 sonnets left. Good Lord. That is not many sonnets left, is it? And I'm hoping to have some more guests on before I finish. I haven't been very good at that over the whole course of this. It's hard to arrange to get guests on, but it's always fun. It's been great having different people's views on these sonnets, and lots of laughs along the way. Maybe we'll get Jacob back for Sonnet 150 if he'll join me. That would be a bit of fun. And a little bit of news. Just been fostering some kittens that were left sadly outside a vet in London, and they're very sweet. They're probably not even 2 months old, and this morning I woke up and went into the kitchen, and one of them had a little poo on the complete works of Shakespeare. So make of that what you will. Clearly I haven't raised them well enough yet to appreciate Shakespeare. Right, I think we should take a look at Sonnet 145. Those lips that love's own hand did make breathed forth the sound that said, I hate, to me that languished for her sake. But when she saw my woeful state, straight in her heart did mercy come, chiding that tongue that ever sweet was used in giving gentle doom, and taught it thus anew to greet. I hate, she altered with an end that followed it as gentle day doth follow night, who like a fiend from heaven to hell is flown away. I hate, from hate away she threw, and saved my life, saying, not you. Wow. Sonnet 145. An interesting one, a very interesting one. I have to say, if you're at home, give this one a read, because it's quite nice to read out loud. I found it pretty easy. Some of them I really struggle and stumble over and do multiple takes to try and get an actual reading that is worth putting on this bloody podcast. But this one just sort of shot out. Maybe it's just because it's sort of a bit simpler than some of his other stuff. But the meaning as well, I mean, he's very content with not much, isn't he, sometimes, Shakespeare? Essentially, she says, I hate, and then says, not you. So at first he's like, I hate, and he's going, oh no, she's going to say, I hate you, she's going to say, I hate you, and he's already crying, and then she sees that he's upset, and she goes, not you. And he's like, and you saved my life. I'm not gonna end my own life because you said not you at the end of that. Which is it's a low bar. It's crazy, Shakespeare. I mean, she could have been going, it almost sounds like she was going to say I hate you, but then she changed it at the last minute. And he's happy with that. I mean, she is getting away with a lot here. But I think we should dive into this properly and work out what the hell Shakespeare is going on about in Sonnet 145. So we start with those lips that love's own hand did make breathed forth the sound that said, I hate. So those lips of yours, lovely lady. Now I think he's saying look like they were made by the goddess of love herself. And those lips, those gorgeous lips, spoke the words, I hate. So that's not ideal. Not ideal hearing that from such lovely lips. And then the thought continues with, to me that languished for her sake. So they spoke the words, I hate, to me, who's languishing in love for her. And he's obviously devastated by this, clearly, because following this is, but when she saw my woeful state. So he was a mess. He heard the words, I hate. I mean, that's not a sentence in itself, I hate. So she could have been going to say anything, and he's already a crumpled mess. I mean, he is very quick to emotion sometimes, Shakespeare. She could be saying anything. I hate, what is it? I hate the rain. I hate the cold. It could be anything. But he's gone, this is the worst thing in the world. She hates me. And he's crying and he's crying. And so she sees his woeful state. And then we have, straight in her heart did mercy come. So seeing that he's in this woeful state, mercy came into her heart. Chiding that tongue that ever sweet was used in giving gentle doom. So she tells her own tongue off, her own sweet tongue, which is usually gentle. And so mercy came into her heart when she saw that he was upset, and she told her sweet tongue off, which is usually, it's a nice tongue. It usually speaks really nice words. So it's a bit shocking. And she goes, oh, silly tongue, bad tongue, down tongue, down tongue. And the thought continues with, and taught it thus anew to greet, : So she realised she was about to say something bad. She saw that Shakespeare was upset, so she taught her tongue to say something new. Not to say, I hate you, basically. And then this next quatrain is what she taught her tongue to say. And that is, I hate, she altered with an end that followed it as gentle day doth follow night. So she changed I hate by adding a few words. The way day follows night, who like a fiend from heaven to hell is flown away. So that, is pretty straightforward there. The day follows night, the way the day follows night, who like a fiend flies from heaven to hell. Very big language here to be talking about the words that follow from I hate. But, we've talked about this in sonnets before. Day and night. So the way that day follows night, he talks about night in quite a sort of dark, deathly, horrible way, and day is obviously beautiful and light and lovely. So this is the way that day follows light. So the darkness is the night, and that is the I hate part of this, and the day is the bit that's to follow that comes at the end of this sonnet. But he's doing a little build up. So the final couplet is, I hate, from hate away she threw, and saved my life, saying, not you. So essentially she took the hatred out of hate, she threw it away, and saved my life with not you. So the whole sentence is, I hate not you. I don't know about this one. Was she going to say, oh, I hate you? We need to know the context, don't we? Where they have an argument and she was about to go, oh, you know what? I hate you, Shakespeare. But then caught herself, because in the period of time between saying I hate and not you, Shakespeare had broken down into tears. How big a gap was she leaving there? I hate, not you. Could you cry in that gap? I don't know. Jury's out on that one, but I'm going to need a bit of context here. But and apparently her saying not you saved Shakespeare's life. So he was maybe, about to end it all if she had said, I hate you. So as we know, Shakespeare, very quick to emotion. Very, very quick. And here is the biggest example of all. He is going to cry in the gap. Well, he is crying in the gap between I hate and not you. So that is just a prime example of how emotional this guy is. And how much he loves this woman, I guess. So that is Sonnet 145. Quite a simple one, but also quite mad in many ways. Quite a weird one that really shows us Shakespeare's emotion, how much he loves the Dark Lady, and also potentially how much the Dark Lady sort of doesn't like him, if she is going to say, I hate you, but then changes her mind and says, I hate not you. It's a bit of a cop-out, isn't it? She could have said something else. I hate chocolate, something like that. She didn't have to say, I hate not you. You know, not very quick. She wouldn't be very good at an improv, sort of comedy improv, would she? Maybe something to work on. Maybe go to a few classes. I don't know. So I think it's about time we put this to our story. And if you remember last week, the Dark Lady revealed that she'd been seeing someone else. And Shakespeare's like, oh, I can't believe it. Well, I mean, he could believe it because she's obviously been with loads of other people and that's what he's annoyed about. But in this case, she's like, and you know this person, it's not great, Shakespeare, what you're about to find out. And he says, take me to him. And she's like, oh, I don't know if that's a good idea, but she does. And she takes him to this bridge in Stratford. And on the bridge is this shadowy figure. The shadowy figure turns and Shakespeare sees his old love, the fair youth, the Earl of Southampton, standing there. And Shakespeare can't believe his eyes, of course. The Earl of Southampton says, yeah, I think I'm in love with the Dark Lady. And Shakespeare's like, you know she's evil, mate. Yeah, she's seeing loads of people. And he's like, yeah, I get it, man, but I love her. And so Shakespeare, he can't take any of this. And we know how quick to emotion he is. He runs from them, crying, sobbing. They shout after him, Shakespeare, Shakespeare, but he's gone by that point. He runs all the way home, crying, shrieking, yelling. And he gets home to his cat, Mercutio. And he reads Sonnet 144 to Mercutio that explains the whole situation, about how much love one of his loves, aka the fair youth, brings him, and how much hate and despair his other love, aka the Dark Lady, brings him. It's like the devil and it's like the angel. It's heaven and hell. It's two spirits. And essentially at the end he's like, the angel, aka the fair youth, has been turned evil by the devil, aka the Dark Lady, but he still loves her, clearly. Right, so let's see how Sonnet 145 fits into all this. Shakespeare finishes reading Sonnet 144 to Mercutio, who at that point had curled up into a little ball and was fast asleep. Shakespeare sighs and thinks, God, my sonnets can't even keep a cat awake. How tragic. He blows out the candle in the living room and starts to wander upstairs to bed, dejected, when he hears a knock on the door. He turns and goes back down. He shouts through the door, who is it? If it's you, I'm not letting you in. There's a pause and then he hears the voice of the Dark Lady. She says, Shakespeare, let me in, we need to talk. Shakespeare says, I'm not letting you in, I'm too bloody upset. And the Dark Lady says, come on, let me in, we need to talk. Shakespeare sighs and knows he needs to be the bigger man here, and opens up the door, lets in the Dark Lady. She says, you know what, the fair youth, that is his name, isn't it? No, it's the Earl of Southampton. That's just a fair youth, that's what I call him in my sonnets. And she says, oh, right, I actually never knew his name. But anyway, I love him. He loves me, and we love each other. But I'm not sure if that's the case anymore, because you've upset us both. You've upset him, and he's now maybe not into me anymore. He said, I don't know if I can do this. Shakespeare has a little smile on his face. And she says, what are you smiling at? And he said, well, I mean, if he's not into it anymore, then what can I do? And she said, you know what, Shakespeare, you're so selfish. And Shakespeare says, oh, what do you mean selfish? I mean, if he doesn't love you anymore, what am I to say? Like, what can I do about it? And she says, well, you can fix this. And Shakespeare said, why would I fix it? I still love you, for God's sake. In fact, I love you both in a way. It's all very complicated. A darkness suddenly descends over the dark lady, and she turns to him red in the face, piercing black eyes, and says, "Shakespeare, I hate..." And there's a little pause. And in that pause, Shakespeare loses his mind. He starts crying. He's screaming. He is wailing. He's throwing things around the kitchen. He turns into almost another being with how traumatic he found the words "I hate." And he's curled up in a little ball on the floor, sobbing, and tears are streaming from his eyes. The dark lady sees this highly emotional state, and she says, oh, not you." And Shakespeare looks up from the little ball that he's in and goes, Not me. Did you just say not me?" And dark lady says, Yeah, not you. I hate not you." And Shakespeare says, Oh God, I thought you were going to say I hate you. Oh, that really scared me. So what, you were just going to say I hate not you? And she says, Yeah, I was just going to say I hate not you. All right? Happy now? And Shakespeare says, really happy, actually. I was going to... I don't know what I was going to do, but I think you might have just saved my life, actually. The dark lady says, "You really need to go to some therapy, Shakespeare. You are highly emotional and a very complicated man." And Shakespeare says, "Yeah, I've been told that actually by quite a few people." Well, what are you going to do? Anyway, do you want to go upstairs and maybe have a little kiss? Or the dark lady says, "No, I'm leaving. I don't know if I can be with you, Shakespeare. I've told you that, and I want to go back and make amends with the fair youth." And Shakespeare says, "Fine, go back to the fair youth, but you will be mine eventually." She says, "Is that a threat?" No, I'm sorry, it just popped out. No, you go back to the fair youth, but just so you know, I still love you." And with that, the dark lady leaves. Shakespeare goes to bed content with the fact that the dark lady doesn't, in fact, hate him. In the morning, Ben Jonson, his old friend, his old frenemy in many ways, pops round, and they have eggs and bacon together. As they eat, Shakespeare says, "God, you won't believe the night I've had." Ben Jonson says, "Oh, go on. You still hanging out with the dark lady?" And Shakespeare says, Yeah, I am actually. Well, I'm trying to anyway. Remember the fair youth that I was into?" Ben Jonson says, Yeah, I remember. Yeah, lovely guy, actually, lovely guy. You sort of messed him around a little bit. And Shakespeare says, Yeah, I know, I regret it. But anyway, the dark lady and the fair youth are kind of, how do I put this, seeing each other. I think they're kind of in love with each other. Ben Jonson says, "No way! What are the chances of that? That's absolutely crazy. So what are you doing about it?" And Shakespeare says, "Well, the dark lady came round last night, and she was about to say, actually, you know what? I should make this a sonnet. It'll be a good sonnet." And Ben Jonson says, "No, just finish the end of the story. don't write. Well, I mean, write a sonnet by all means, but just do the story now. Tell the story now, like any normal person. You don't need to write a sonnet about it." And Shakespeare says, "Well, no, I think it'd be best as a sonnet." Ben Jonson says, "No, just tell me the bloody story, Shakespeare. For God's sake, it'll take hours to write a sonnet, and I just want to know now." And Shakespeare says, No, it'll be quick, this one. "Do you have a quill on you?" Ben Jonson says, "Yeah, here's my quill." And Shakespeare quickly scrawls down Sonnet 145. 7 hours later, he produces Sonnet 145 to Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson has been asleep on the kitchen table. For some reason, Shakespeare prods him to wake him up and says, "Do you want to hear the end of the story?" Ben Jonson says, "What story?" Shakespeare says, "The one I was telling about the dark lady, for God's sake." Ben Jonson says, yeah, sure, tell me. I mean, I'm not that bothered now anymore, to be honest." The moment's passed a little bit. Shakespeare says, No, it hasn't passed, because I've written a great sonnet about it, so just listen, all right? He grabs Ben Jonson by the lapel and pops him in a chair, pulls out Sonnet 145 from his back pocket, and reads, Sonnet 145. "Those lips that look like they were made by the goddess of love spoke the words 'I hate' to me who's languishing in love for her. But when she saw how sad she'd made me, mercy came into her heart, and she told her sweet tongue off, which is usually gentle, and taught it to speak something else to me. By adding a few words, she changed I hate, the way day follows night, who like a fiend flies from heaven to hell. She took hatred out of I hate, and saved my life with not you. So there we have it, the bizarre, weird, odd, I mean as with all his sonnets really, but this is a strange one, Sonnet 145. And the story to go with it. Good to have Ben Jonson back, isn't it? And the fair youth and the dark lady. I mean, it's almost like we're about to wrap up the whole story, isn't it? Fancy that. Join me next week as I take a look at Sonnet 146. Until then, bye.